Hey, this is Mike, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to deploy a test with parameters to allow the students a certain set amount of time, in this case for example 3 hours, to do an essay test, so that they will be held to that time limit, and so that they will be able to submit the test without having Blackboard timeout, which might happen if they have a test that they're leaving open. The test that I'm talking about in this example is an open-ended test, like an essay test. If you had a multiple choice test or something where they were answering many answers, this might not be the best way to do it. But for a strictly essay test, this might be the best solution. So first I want to create a test, and I created a test already in Blackboard that I'm going to now deploy, and I'll show you what the deployment parameters are going to be. So I'm going to go into my assignments area because I want to deploy the test, and I'm going to go to Add Interactive Tool here. Just take a second for the Blackboard to wake up, and I'm going to add a test here. And when the test page comes up, if I didn't have a test to deploy, I could create one here by clicking on Create New Test on the Create button, but the tests that I've created and have not deployed will be available here. So I'll click on Essay Example and I'll click on Submit. And now it's going to allow me to put some test options in here. And first thing I can do is I can change the name of the test, but I'm not going to, or I could give it a description. Now here are the parameters that you need to pay attention to. Open test in new window, that doesn't matter, I generally leave it as no. Make the link available, obviously you want to make the link available. Add a new announcement for the test, you could do that if you wanted to. You don't want to allow multiple attempts necessarily, but the important thing is you don't want to force completion. You want to allow the students to come back to the test, because we're going to set the timer, and we're going to set the timer, just for argument's sake, for 5 minutes for this particular test, because I want to show you what a student will see in the next segment. So there we go, 5-minute test, and display after. So let's say that I only wanted students to be able to start taking the test at 11 o'clock this morning. I could go ahead and check that box and set those parameters. And let's say I wanted it only to display until a certain time. I'm going to say, okay, well, display it until, tomorrow, 10:10, at 10:51. So do that. And I could give it a password if I wanted to, but I won't in this case. And that's basically it. The important thing, you can give it some feedback. You can change the feedback so that the students see their score. Obviously if it's an essay test, they're not going to see their score because you're going to have to grade it. Presentation mode all at once, and I'll click on Submit. Now the important thing is, if you wanted a 3-hour test, let me just go back, instead of choosing 5 minutes, obviously I would set the timer for 3 hours. And that's basically it. I'll hit Submit, and now my students are ready to take the test. I will make another tutorial to sort of walk you through what the students will see when they take the test, but that is basically it. And you're going to want to tell the students for a longer test that they can open up the test, read the questions, they can write the answer right in the page if they wanted to, or in a simple text editor, and then when they're ready they could shut down the browser if they wanted, open up the browser again, go back to the test. The timer will be running, but as long as they do it under that 3-hour time limit, they should be fine. And that's basically how you're going to do it. Now I'll show you what it looks like from the student's perspective in the next segment.